Hi, my name's Steve Whitewood and I'm an artist from Maidstone in Kent, but moved to Manchester in 2019 to study fine art and have lived there ever since pursuing my painting practice. I think living in Manchester for the last 5 years has expanded my worldview a lot more and has allowed me to make work that is more contextually informed and visually a bit fresher. I don't think my upbringing prompted anything specific referentially, and I don't think consciously I really reference my background in my work, at least not anymore. I think my surrounding environment does have an effect on the type of work I make though. For example, I came up with the concept of my current practice because it was a time where I first started going to gallery openings quite frequently. So it was at the front of my mind, and when I moved to Manchester for the first time, my work focused on a lot of architecture within the city. I would say my first big influence would have been Francis Bacon. I think his work, when I first saw it, was like nothing I'd ever seen before, and his work showed me that painting could be so much more than just painting what you see in front of you, and it could transcend that and mean so much more. I think nowadays there's a lot of different artists that I love. I would say that Lisa Bryce's work really did influence the kind of paintings that I make now, because her work kind of assured me that you can make really amazing, impactful paintings, even with a really minimalist colour palette. I've also really enjoyed Neil Stocko's work very recently. I like how his paintings are very representational, but also feel otherworldly, like they're depicting an alternate reality. Right now, I'm working on paintings that depict the art world without the surrounding art. So it's about the people at galleries, art fairs and private views, and how they behave, their body language, how they dress, what they're doing in the space. I've always found private views especially a bit strange to be at, so this is kind of my way of navigating that notion and poking a bit of fun at it, really, because I think the art world can be quite serious at times and a bit of pretentious, so this is kind of my way to inject a bit of humour into it. For me, the biggest challenge as an artist is kind of the networking, the making connections, basically anything that's not painting, I would say is the hardest part about it. I think making the work's the easy part. If I were to give my younger self any advice, it would be to pursue something that you love doing over something that will just give you the stable job at the end. For a long time, I think I was trying to push myself into more design-based career paths because they often offer a more stable income. And where I grew up, that felt important to most people. But I didn't actually enjoy doing these things very much, and it took me a while to realise that painting was the thing that I enjoyed doing the most. So I think maybe if I'd had someone when I was at school going, just do what you'd actually enjoy rather than what you think you should be doing, then maybe I would have come round to it a bit quicker. I'm not too unconventional in my painting techniques, but when I was in college, I did once cut holes in a painting. On canvas I was doing of a physical altercation to symbolise cuts and scrapes on the figures' bodies. It's not something that I would do now. I mean, I see where I was going with it, but I don't think it's something that I would ever revisit, really. While I'm in the studio, I usually listen to podcasts or music while I'm working. I don't mind working in silence, it just feels a bit eerie. Plus, I just love a good podcast. The best reaction that someone had to my artwork was when I was showing a painting at an art fair last year, and this guy was looking at the piece and talking to his partner about it and just being very complimentary about it and saying how he liked how it was simple but very effective, and just kind of going off on a bit of a tangent about how good he thought it was, basically. And I was standing right behind him the entire time, and he didn't know I was there, and he didn't know I was the artist either. And I thought it was a particularly good reaction because it was a really positive reaction from my work, but then also he didn't know I was there, so it's not like he would have altered his reaction in any way to kind of appease me in a sense. That's just what he thought, and it was very positive, and I just really liked that, basically. The thing I hope that people take away from the work is I just hope that people understand it and resonate with it in some way. And I also hope that people see the humour in it, because I find that really important in my practice. So I think when people find it a little bit funny, I quite enjoy that. So yeah, that would be nice. Thank you for listening. And if you want to see more of my work, my Instagram is @SteveWhitewood_art. And that's also where I put any upcoming exhibitions. So keep a lookout for those. Thank you very much.